With it being 2:01, we'll go ahead and call the meeting of the City Design Review Board to order. Everybody was mailed and emailed the packet of last month's minutes. Anyone have any questions, concerns? Hearing none, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to accept the minutes as presented. All in favor? Aye. Okay, our first case for hearing today is case DRB 2025-05. It's a request for a certificate of appropriateness to remove trees from 319 South Irby Street, identified as Florence County Tax Map Number 90087-08005 in the D3 Arts Culture Overlay District. Staff?
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your attendance. So here's the vicinity map. This is the administration offices for Florence School District 1. It is in the Central Business District, as well as the Irby Street Corridor Overlay District and the Arts and Cultural Overlay District. So previously, the school district is doing a renovation to their existing building, an addition with landscaping. So we issued a certificate of appropriateness administratively, and they want to take down 3 additional trees. So the purpose of today is to look at those 3 trees that they want to take down. And they also have, so they have a plant removal plan, which you see. And then here's the landscaping plan that has been approved. So if you look at the bottom of the picture, it's these 3 oak trees that front along, not Irby, is it Dargan? Pine Street. Yeah, so here's the 3 trees along Pine Street that they would like DRB's permission to remove. It does require that they get Parks Commission approval because they are in the right-of-way and they are street trees, and they have gotten approval from the Parks Commission to remove the 3 trees. And here's just some additional photos. So, and just to the Unified Development Ordinance, the reason that we require street trees on new development in the city as pro street trees is just to, the planting of street trees along public right-of-way is required for new development, and their preservation and protection is a citywide priority. And what it does is it just promotes and preserves appearance, character of the community, increase compatibility between land uses, and improve the quality of life of residents in the city of Florence. But everything else has been approved. These are the only 3 trees that they are asking to remove, and that does conclude staff's report.
Okay. Anyone have any questions of staff? Anyone here to speak in this matter? I am. If you can come approach the podium and state your name, please.
Mr. Chairman, Florence District 1 is the current client of mine, so I'm going to be obligated to introduce myself.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Collins?
Hey, I'm Evan Clements. I'm a project manager for Healy Horticulture. We're performing the work of the project, and kind of speaking on behalf of Florence 1 Schools. The main reason for removing these trees is just because of their overall size and growth. I don't know if you've got that picture where you could go back to maybe the most recent picture. And these trees are growing now very, very closely to the building and kind of blot out that entire side of the landscape. And, you know, we believe that Florence 1 wants to kind of update and beautify their campuses. We've taken down a couple of the Bradford pears there. Also, they're on the invasive list. And we have plans to reinstall street trees there of kind of more of a diverse nature instead of just 3 live oaks kind of back to back to back, which kind of creates a dead zone on that section of the property. And then in addition to that, we're offering to renovate and replace 300 feet of the sidewalk that's pretty busted up underneath those trees as part of this.
Okay. Anyone have any questions?
And I'm sorry, you may have said it, and I went over my head, but what are y'all replanting with?
We haven't selected the exact trees yet, but they will be things that aren't quite as large growing and wide growing, something that's kind of more columnar in shape and that won't be sheared down one side by passing trucks and vehicles as these current trees are.
So these current trees are in fact in the traffic pattern?
They are.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, anyone else here to speak in this matter? Okay, can I have a seat? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and open it up for discussion or a motion.
I'd like to just say one thing real quick, and Mr. Chairman, Mr. Collins, I know you were here back in those days, but there was a time when if you were going to cut a tree down, it just didn't seem to happen with a lot of the previous board members. One example was, I think, the Baptist church, where the trees were actually tearing the structure apart, and the board denied it. Personally, I'm for it, and I'll be happy to, after any more discussion, to make that motion to approve as submitted.
Okay, anyone else have anything, any comments? Is that a motion, Mr. Tedder?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to approve as submitted. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Certificate to be issued. Thank you. Our second case today is case DRB 2025-06. It's a request for a certificate of appropriateness to install an LED monument sign at 163 South Court Street, identified as Florence County Tax Map Number 90074-05-009 in the D2 Downtown Overlay District. Staff?
All right, this is Cumberland United Methodist Church making their request to replace their existing monument sign with this new proposed monument sign, which will be entirely will be LED. So this is located in the Downtown Overlay District and Central Business District. So here's the vicinity map, not far from where we sit right now. And so here's the proposed sign. Including the 2-foot high base, the sign is 6.5 feet tall. The LED panel is 6 feet 7 inches wide and 4.5 feet high. When I first saw the picture, it kind of looks like a television. But if you look to the right where it says "to be determined," if you look at the base, it's very narrow. So from the front, it kind of looks like it's all just one facade, but it's actually the cabinet is large, and then it has a very narrow pole structure. So here is where they're proposing to place the sign along South Coit Street. This does meet the Unified Development Ordinance, but it is a internally lit LED sign, so it does require Design Review Board approval. Here's their existing sign that they want to replace. The new sign will be perpendicular to South Coit Street, as opposed to the parallel sign currently. So here's a view from South Coit Street. So previously, we have approved animated signs in the D1 redevelopment overlay district as a component of the signage, but not the entirety of the signage. This was approved by DRB at the March 12th meeting, a 12 square foot LED reader board in the D2 overlay district. So there is precedence for LEDs being approved. I think this is the only one. The new design guidelines prohibit this kind of sign going forward, but this application came in before the design guidelines were approved. So this would be a request that design guidelines would prohibit in the future. But that does conclude staff's report.
Okay, does anyone have any questions of staff?
So just for clarification, the Harrington sign is a different overlay.
It's in the D2. It's in the D2. So we, the board has approved D1 LED signage in the past. I think that's the only one that's been approved in the D2, and it was a, yes, sir.
They're both will be, when the new ordinance goes into effect, they would both the Harrington as well as this one would have been or would be denied. Is that correct?
It would be an existing nonconformity. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, it's not something that, this is the way that churches are going, for their signage so that they can advertise multiple messages. It just happens to be that this is in a historic overlay district, and it comes under that scrutiny of those design guidelines.
Is there? I guess I already clarified. So I guess not necessarily my point, but my conclusion is this is not unlike what was approved in Harrington.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Some nuances, but generally it's a similar.
Exactly. Precedence has been set in the D2 district. Yes, sir.
Do you know whether or not there are any plans for the signage to be offset with any like brickwork at the bottom, similar to the brickwork on the church? Just out of curiosity, I don't know what it is. Obviously, it's not necessary, but it might make the signage look a little bit.
Right. At this time, that is not a proposal.
Okay.
No, sir.
I had that same observation. It seemed like it almost seems a little temporary and not quite as the way it's configured now. I agree with that.
Does anyone have any other questions of staff? Anyone here to speak on this matter? Okay, having none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and open it up for discussion. Or a motion.
So this is very similar to what we did with Harrington, and that was due to the fact the application was put in prior to.
The design guidelines, new design guidelines being passed by City Council.
But
Yes,
if
sir.
we did, if this application came in after the new guidelines,
It wouldn't even be
we
before.
wouldn't even be hearing it, right?
Right. Changeable message and flashing signs will be prohibited in all 5 overlay districts.
And to clarify, the Harrington was in District 2, and this is in District 1.
This
It's the
is
same district.
It's the same
I'm
district.
sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Both D2, the historic overlay district, or downtown central, downtown
Okay.
overlay district.
Does the church have any plans whatsoever to build a foundation around the sign?
There's gonna be a foundation, and the sign will sit on a foundation as far as the bricks around it, through the asset. We haven't done that yet. We got another crew that's working on the flowers and everything.
Okay, so that answers y'all's question there.
I make a motion to approve as submitted with kind of an amendment that the client or the applicant be encouraged to put a brick base on the sign.
Okay, we have a motion. Second.
I'll second that.
Second.
All in favor? Certificate to be issued. City have anything else they need to address?
We don't.
Okay.
Thank y'all for being so flexible in your schedules. We really appreciate it.
I'm sorry you didn't get vacation this week.
I know everyone else did. Maybe next week.
And we're adjourned, and we'll see you at 2 p.m. on July 9th. Thanks for everybody.
All right. Thank y'all.